So now we've added our work to the Google Drive. This means now we can start to populate our Google Classroom. The easiest way to do this is to go to the 9 circles in the top right-hand corner and click on Google Classroom. You can also type in classroom.google.com. Now we go to the top right and click on the plus and create classroom. If this option is not there, make sure you contact the IT support team, and it'll be a really quick tick box and they'll be able to sort this problem out for you. It just stops students from becoming teachers and thinking they can create classes. Now, once you've created your class, make sure you label this obviously. Go to Spanish and type in year 11, for example. It's just this what the students will see. So if you type in year 11, and they have 10 classes, just year 11, it's going to be very difficult for the students to be able to see which one is Spanish, so make this crystal clear. Now click Create. This will now create your Google Classroom. Depending on the classes that you have set up for you already, you may just have to click on Accept, and you may never have to create your own classroom. But either way, you're going to have to create classwork, which is what we're going to cover now. So to do this, we'll need to go to Classwork. Before we do this, I'd recommend having a little bit of housekeeping. Go to the cog and then scroll down. Click on Stream in General and change this to only teachers can post comments, and then hit Save. So let's do that again. Top right hand corner, click on the cog, scroll down, and you'll find a section under General called Stream, and make sure this is only teachers can post or comment. This will save you a lot of time in the long run, as students will not be able to post inappropriate or appropriate content on your wall, which means you do not have to clean it up later. So next, we're going to click Create, and we're going to click Assignment. So before we added the 2 folders and the 2 files to Google Drive, so now we need to add them to this piece of the section on Google Classroom. So could we type in, first of all, what is the actual topic area that we're doing? So we could put animals revision. And then if it's not obvious, it might work on additional instructions. So first of all, it could be watch the slides and then complete the worksheet. Simple enough, but if you've got more complex instructions, it might be worth adding these. So now let's add the actual documents. Let's hit Add and go to Google Drive. Now select the 2 documents that we're going to hand out to the students. So here we have the animal revision and Spanish animals. Remember, hit Control to select both and then Add at the bottom. Or if this is too much information and you can't find anything, you can search in the top or go to My Drive and then find the actual work that we're talking about. And here it is. So let's select 2 of these and hit Add. Now you can see here that the top one has got student can view file, and the bottom one says this as well. It's probably worth leaving presentations as students can view, as you don't want them to have their own copy unless you're setting a specific task. Otherwise, go to students can view, click on the drop down, and then make a copy for each student. This is the equivalent of you photocopying a piece of work, handing it out to each student, and then them handing it back to you. Basically the best way you can digitally do this. Next, I would also recommend adding a due date. So for example, if you want this in by next week on Thursday, I would go to the date that you want. This particular one is going to be next week, which is going to be the 1st of April. And then the time, maybe set it so that it's not in the middle of the night. So we could maybe set it for 2000 hours. And this will then set this to 8 p.m. on Wednesday, the 1st of April. I would also recommend adding a topic. A simple way of looking at this is a filter on your lessons. So when you go into the Google Classroom, you could have, for example, week 3 revision. Or you could have the topic name, Spanish animals, or you could have classwork, homework. Basically, it's just a really easy way for students to be able to find the work quicker because you can apply filters inside your classroom. The only thing left here to look at is the drop-down arrow and then schedule. If you want to, you can schedule work for multiple weeks in advance. So you could spend a few days creating all your work for your classes, but then schedule in when you want the students to be able to see the work. So for example, if you have a class every Monday, you might want to schedule this in for next Monday and the Monday after to make sure they've always got work to do rather than blitzing through all the work and having no more assignments to do. So for now, we're just going to hit assign. Once you've done this, essentially you made your first bit of Google Classroom work and you've assigned it to all the students that are in your class automatically. Well done.